So I was I was mentioning the San Jose Sharks and St. Louis Blues, and you gave them as winners of their conference at 7 and 8 respectively. Now they are 1-1 into their semifinals. So
Yeah.
we don't expect. We expect one of the bets to be a winner, so I'm cheering for the Blues at 8.0. What do you say
Mhm.
about that head-to-head?
All right, so the Eastern Conference bets did not go so great. I had Tampa Bay, which of course we covered, got knocked out in the first round, big upset. So that one went down. Then I had a small play on the Islanders to also win the East. That went down the second round. But in the West, we hit both of them, and because of the lines, the prices we got, we're gonna be in profit no matter what, no matter who wins this series on all of our outright props. And so that's great. And the article with the preview for this series between the Sharks and Blues, I was, I don't want to say surprised. I guess the Blues should be a small underdog, but I thought they were a bigger underdog than they should have been. So I also took them for the series. Then, as far as match plays, individual game plays go, I've already cashed on 3 of the 4 series. I like to run progressions, so that's a team to win one game. So I've bet the Bruins, the Sharks, and the Blues already. Tonight I'm going to be starting with the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, going back to your question, yeah, I'm looking at the Blues to take the series,
He
but
always he always does that.
only.
He always does that. We start with one question and he finishes saying about what will happen in 2 years from now.
It's true. I could talk quite a bit about hockey and esports, but thanks for bringing me back. Anyways, what's on the agenda?
What's on the agenda? You said it. What's on the agenda tonight? Boston plays their first game in Carolina. They are leading right now. They are leading
Yeah.
the series 2-0. But they are playing away from home. 2.65. They are the underdogs in this match. 2.35 Carolina Hurricanes. 3.9 the draw. What do you see in this match?
So in the first 2 games in Boston, exactly as I wrote in the article, although I didn't make a play on the series because I didn't like the price of the Bruins on the money line, um, I did say the Bruins really have the Carolina outmatched in every area of the ice, meaning their forwards are deeper, they're more physical, their power play is more dangerous, their defense are physical as well. They've got the depth on defense. They might not be as mobile of a defensive core, but they definitely have the experience and the physicality to push around the lighter, faster Carolina Hurricanes. In terms of goaltending, Tuukka Rask, he's not the flashiest of goalies, but he has been phenomenal in all 3 series so far. He does more than enough to get the job done. He makes the saves he ought to, and I think that's important. That's all you can really ask. And his defense are willing to block shots and sort of play relentless in their own zone. So it's not easy for Carolina, who came off a sweep up against a sort of very soft New York team, and they weren't really tested. Their New York's goal scoring was very, very poor and low. So I think coming against Boston, they've been caught off guard and pushed around is a good word because they have been. Marchand, who's an elite player in the league, but he's an agitator. He likes to talk a lot. He likes to have a little stick. It's like stick work where he's hacking a little bit or getting a high stick. He's got under the skin of a few players on the Canes, namely their captain Justin Williams, and these are all the sort. Within a 7-game series, you get these storylines and battles where players are constantly head to head, and it carries through. So what happens in game 1, we can see it evolve later on in a series. I don't think this one's going to be a sweep. I mean, that's just the capping perspective. And I took the Carolina Hurricanes as soon as it opened at 1.9, I think. And it's come down to about 1.85 1.83, I think, most places. Yeah. So I'm on Carolina on an AB progression to win one of these games 3 and 4. If they win tonight, then I'm off for the rest of the Eastern Conference series. I just enjoy it, and but I think Carolina will be a bit more composed, I guess. I think that's been the problem going into the enemy building, and who just came off a game. What was it? 6 victory. I think they were just sort of going into the lion's den or the bear's den, if you want to make a pun. I think they'll have a little bit more to show. I am concerned about their goaltending, but they've never had that all-star goalie. They kind of went between Mrazek and McElhinney all season, and in the playoffs they've had to. But they need their defense to step up a bit. They can't be, first of all, taking undisciplined penalties and putting Boston's power play out there. But they also need to help out their goalies. They need to do more as a 5-man core in their own zone.
Tell me, how is possible? You know that I don't know nothing about hockey. I'm not following hockey. I'm telling you on some plays, but I know that there are a couple of people on each team. Not couple, more than a couple. But anyway, and the goalie and the small net, you know. Yeah, I think that it's an
smaller than
sport. It's a lot smaller than in football. I can tell you that. How is we've lost you, Rafa? Please. I don't know why we are having this tech issues, but hopefully Adam will come back because I have some interesting questions. I did my research, so I'm on the top scorers chart here with 2 San Jose players leading the top scorer chart, Couture and Burns with 19 goals and 15 goals respectively. I'm trying with points. It's points here. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not with the goals. Goals conceded, goals against. Yeah, anyway, I have to ask Adam about that because I don't know even how to read the charts. But it's a good thing that we have specialists in every single sport because I'm going on oddsmarket.com. I'm checking the site. I'm telling my specialists there. Dave with Jason with the UFC, Adam with esports and NHL. Who else? Joao with his tennis picks. Russ, who was on earlier with his darts picks. Of course, Craig Davids with his snooker and golf tips and many more. But Adam is back. And I was checking the top scorer chart here, Adam. And how is even possible a defender, Brent Burns from San Jose Sharks, to be second in the standings with 15 points? A defender. How is that even possible?
Yeah, so in hockey, the way the defense are able to get involved in offense is usually through 2 ways. They're a good skater, and so they're able to capitalize when the opposing team is maybe making a bad change, or that's usually how it works. Is there's a turnover in the neutral zone, the defense can jump up if they're fast enough and mobile enough to join the play. Most of Brent Burns' points, they still come on the power play, I believe. I think he's got power play points. Yeah, he's got. Oh no, he's only got four power play points. So actually, most of his points are 5-on-5, which is phenomenal. So, but they are assists, which means he's not scoring the goals. He's not at the front lines. But Brent Burns is very mobile.
The points. He's winning the points by helping in the defense, right? Or how is it working here?
Brent Burns and Erik Karlsson, the 2 top defensemen for San Jose, they're known for being good passers. And Brent Burns does have an excellent shot, but they get a lot of power play time as well. So they'll be playing on in hockey. There's 2 power play units, so you'll have a power play for 2 minutes, and you'll probably put your top line out there for 2 shifts for maybe a minute and 20 seconds, and your other line will go out there for 40 seconds. And in that time, Brent Burns and Erik Karlsson might be the one, both of them might be out, or just one of them with 4 forwards. But they kind of look at where the defenseman stands. It's near the blue line, so they kind of act as a quarterback, where they will direct the puck movement from the top, from near the blue line, and then they're also responsible for getting the puck to the net for deflections or rebounds, or just shooting it straight in the net. But so
Yeah.
that's why Brent Burns has that many points, is he gets a lot of power play time. But he's also able to join the rush because he's a good skater.
On my list here, it says that they have assists. Burns has 10 assists, and Karlsson has 13 assists, both defenders. And on the same
San Jose
with
goes
the 11.
to...
But the rest, Karlsson and Burns are having a great season in terms of assists, not necessarily in terms of goals. Because Karlsson, for example, has 0 goals so far.
Yeah.
But Burns is a hell of a defender. There's 5 goals and 10 assists. Great for that guy. Anyway, we didn't finish. So we have 2 finals, Eastern and the Western. What do you think? Who do you think that will qualify in the final from the 2 semifinals?
So in the East, I do think Boston's going to get out of this one. As I said earlier, I'm hoping it's not a sweep, because I'm going to be betting Carolina over the next 2 games if they don't get a win tonight. But I do think Boston has their number in every area of the ice: offense, defense, and goaltending. So I do think Boston represents the East. In the West, we saw in Game 1, San Jose capitalized on so many turnovers of the Blues. It was very uncharacteristic game by the Blues. They really were sloppy, moving the puck forward. So that was kind of what happened. In Game 2, the Blues played a much, much better game. It was almost a complete game. They had a span in the second period with, again, a couple turnovers. Logan Couture, who's leading the goal scoring, he got 2 goals last night. And while I like San Jose's offensive depth, we definitely saw the sort of sloppiness on their end in Game 2. And again, it's much harder to teach good defense this late into the season. Your offensive weapons can be sharpshooters on the power play, and I have no doubt that San Jose can continue to get their chances. But the Blues were just more efficient in Game 2, and I think Game 2 was more characteristic of when St. Louis is playing their best game, how they can frustrate San Jose. But that said, as I said in the article, I do really think this one goes 6 or 7. But I'm off the series now. I got a win in Game 1 on San Jose, got a win in Game 2 on St. Louis. Now I can just sit back and hope that they give an entertaining series. I'll put it that way. And then if St. Louis comes and meets Boston in the final, well, actually, I'm not even going to get into that. We might as well cover that in a future show, because there'll be so much to break down.
Give me a winner before I let you go. Give me a winner.
Okay, if it's St. Louis versus Boston, I think it's St. Louis. I really do, and I think they'll be an underdog too. And if it's San Jose, Boston, if it's San Jose, Boston, I go Boston.
Okay, I'm going with Boston in this one all the way. I don't know anything, but maybe the odds. I don't know. What are the odds for Boston to win it now, for example?
Win the Cup, it's pretty low, I think. Let's see.
Actually, they are the favorites, right? To win the Stanley Cup.
Well, I did have it right here.
Because I will have a small bet on them.
Okay. Oh, no, it's not coming up. Oh, here it is. to win outright. Boston is 2.0 at Bet365 right now. I don't like that. That is not a good
Oh,
price. They're 2-0 up in the
oh,
series from 2 games at home. I mean, I don't think Carolina will come back to win the series, but that suggests that Boston would be a heavy favorite against St. Louis or San Jose, which whoever comes out of that could definitely take Boston down. So don't move on Boston right now. If anything, move on either the Sharks or the Blues right now to win the cup. But
okay.
I'm gonna wait and assess.
Okay, we talked because we have a few minutes till the end of the
Hey,
show, so we can talk about
we never have
some
enough
other
time for
subject.
hockey and esports,
Let
so
let
this
me
is
ask you
awesome.
something. No, not esports. Esports we're doing on Friday about the esports we're
Yeah.
talking. Let's talk a little bit about the Game of Thrones. You wrote an article 1 month before, 2 months before the season 8, the last season. Everybody's disappointed about the last season. I watched yesterday the last episode of the season. I watched Daenerys going crazy, killing everyone with her dragon. On 40 minutes of the last episode, she was Dracarys on all the city. She
Dracarys,
was
everybody.
Dracarys. Yeah, she was Dracarys the city, you know. Crazy. I don't know. I think that is the worst season of the series till now. What do you think about it?
So episode 6, well, no, 5, sorry, was actually my favorite episode so far because I had already thrown in the towel. I was already so upset about the season. You know, I don't watch a lot of TV. I really don't. I started watching this season or this series, back
Because you wrote an article.
in what's that?
Because you had to write an article on it.
Yeah, no, I read all the books actually. So I've been a fan.
Okay.
My dad had the books. He's had the books for 15 years or something. So he introduced me to it in 2011. And when the first season came out, then I read all the books while I was traveling in Australia and Asia. And then so then I've been watching the show, and 7 seems so hype, and they come to 8, and the writing has just been shit. I got to be honest. I don't want to
It's
jump on the bandwagon, but as somebody who was such a fan of the world that George R. R. Martin created, seeing the way it's gone has just been disappointing.
and
And I,
the
oh, go
mistakes
ahead.
also, and the mistakes, the Starbucks cups
Yeah,
from episode
but
4, the
but
hand of
Alex,
Jamie, who was supposed to not have the second hand, the hand appearing in the last sequence
yeah,
when they died with his sister.
I
I
know,
don't know, very huge mistakes for
sloppy. Yeah.
how much
They had 2 years. They had 2 years to do
they
the season.
invested in this one.
Yeah, they had 2 years to do this final season. You know, I see the point for me, the bigger point is the bad writing. That's what I mean. Those little sort of production issues that shouldn't happen, that sucks, and it'll kind of
Mm.
be quirky and take away from the show. But the one that is the disaster for me is the poor writing. I liked the most recent episode. I won't give any spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. Won't get into it, but overall, the season. I mean, I went back over some of the props last week about who lives and who dies, and there's a few winners, there's a few losers, but it hasn't played. I mean, I did say in the article, most likely nobody sits on the Iron Throne, and Daenerys will sort of, the dragons will burn everything, and that's sort of the way it's gone. But I thought it would at least be interesting to watch it, and just seeing the drama between Sansa and Daenerys, and the gossip, and Tyrion and Jaime's storyline of they want to come save Cersei. Like, why do they want to save Cersei? She's the sister who she's not just sort of been bad to them. She's tried to actively kill them. So I don't get it. I think it was poor writing. Even the scene, last rant. Even the scene where the second dragon gets killed, and Daenerys sort of goes and looks at the ships, and then she flies away, and then in the next episode, not one arrow hits the dragon, and she kills every single weapon. It was just it's crap. The season's crap. But that said, I will watch the finale because I've got this far.
I loved the final scene of the last episode when a white horse appeared from nowhere. When after they how you say, destroyed all the city, everyone died, and the white horse appears. Arya saves the day, jumps on the white horse, and finally gets off the city. Yeah, unbelievable. Everybody was waiting for something else.
One thing I was going to say, I saw yesterday, Bet Online, I think it was Bet Online, they had some props for how Daenerys dies in the final episode. I mean, you can bet on her not to die, but one theory that came out, if you guys want to jump on it this week, was that Varys, the eunuch who was killed at the beginning of the last episode, he's been poisoning her. So you can bet on her to die via poison at, I think it was 20-1. I think that was the price, or 21-1. So I like that. I like that price. If that theory comes true, I do think she will die in the finale. But honestly, I kind of just, when I was watching with my girlfriend yesterday, we were just having a laugh because it was like our expectations were so low for the season now.
This is what I was watching it with my wife, and we went to a wedding in Austria, and we couldn't come on, let's hurry home because the last episode is on HBO. Let's do it. And we started last night after putting our daughter to sleep. We started to watch the last episode. Unbelievable. Anyway, I will make a bet that my wife says it will not happen like that, but me, I believe that Jon will kill Daenerys. I hope that they will give me some odds for that.
Oh wow, that would be crazy.
And also we have Eurovision.
That would be him killing his auntie.
Going on this week. And we have some friends giving some bets on Twitter. I already saw some crazy lines going on. Like always, Romania is priced at 251, 301 right now to win. Netherlands are huge favorites, 3.25, followed by Sweden, 6.5. Australia, who I don't understand what they are doing in Eurovision, but they are here for the last 3 years. 6.5, Russia at 9, and France at 11.
Actually, Alex, I was going to say our friend Sneeze on Twitter, he posted some Eurovision semifinal picks, and I'm sure he won't mind if I give them out if he hasn't tweeted them already. He had Estonia to qualify at 1.8, Greece to win at 2.5, and Portugal not to qualify at 1.65 unit play.